Good morning, St. Louis. I know there's already a game on your TV right now because for some reason, every single week, a game is played super early in a different country now when we watch the NFL. So we have early football. So we have the rest of the slate, though, to break down right here on our Week 5 preview on the Randy Carricker Show on STL Sports Central.
Like 5 international games right now, but we are well on our way to having 16 international games.
You know what? I mumbled it. I don't know why I mumbled it. I'll say it even louder. God bless America. We need to be playing games there.
You got 8 games on the road, 8 games at home, and then 1 international. That's the way it's going to be in about 5 years from now.
Absolutely ridiculous. And good thing though, it's a international game, and we don't have to talk about it because who cares about JJ McCarthy versus Dylan Gabriel or whoever's playing for the Vikings this week? Carson Wentz versus Dylan Gabriel. Exactly my point. This is not the show to do it, but can I complain about Thursday night? Sean McVay, you used to be good at this job. What the hell happened?
It is really, really crazy to watch the 49ers right now. Same thing that happened last year. Players getting hurt left and right, but somehow like they had a year of experience with this now, so they can win games.
They have a better backup quarterback too.
And watching that too, watching Mac Jones play quarterback, I know we're going to get into it, Daniel Jones play quarterback, like watching these quarterbacks who were not good on the teams that drafted them and then going off and being good elsewhere. It really is. It's crazy to see how often this is happening in football.
You know what's crazy to see is the suit choice for a backup quarterback. If you lose that game, you look like an ass for wearing the two-face suit.
But everybody has. I mean, that's that's the kind of stuff like Cam Newton had going.
He was an MVP.
Yes. But I know, like you got to take risks. You want to be that number one quarterback. You got to dress that way.
It worked. As everyone's saying, Mac Jones on Thursday night locked up a career as a backup. Like worst case scenario, he's Chase Daniel, and no one would complain with that. But as we go through this slate, as we look at the noon games, the big one though that jumps out to me, and that's why I put it in the title, has to be 1-3 Houston Texans. A little bit surprising considering how good CJ Stroud was last year versus very surprising the 1-3 Baltimore Ravens.
This is again with that is the Baltimore Ravens with Cooper Rush as their quarterback.
Yep.
That's what we were being told for today's game. You look around the NFL and we've already mentioned Carson Wentz as quarterback in a football game Sunday morning against Dylan Gabriel, who was taking over for Joe Flacco. You look at some of these other games around.
By the way, he was so prepared for that. His parents were not able to make the trip to the game this morning because his dad did not have a passport.
You got to be ready with that.
If my son gets drafted, if my son gets drafted by a team that's playing an international game, I'm getting my passport just in case he's going to be starting that week.
Yeah. There are some other the quarterbacks in the NFL right now. It is some of the names that you're seeing out there as quarterbacks in the NFL.
Now, Joe, do we do this every year, or is this something that happened? Like I can't remember the last time that we had a conversation of, wow, look at all these bad quarterbacks starting. I think it was sometime around week 16 of the 2024 season. Like this is like 5 straight years now where we have this situation where by week 5 or 6 of the NFL season through week like 16, there's 5 or 6 teams who are just playing dregs at quarterback.
And that's why you need to have some of these guys like that Mac Jones or look at like Sam Darnold that went somewhere else and succeeded. Daniel Jones that we mentioned.
Baker Mayfield was looked at as one of those guys for a couple for like that game he started in LA. He was
right. So these guys that go off elsewhere, instead of having, if you want to start with that Ravens game for that, I know right now I believe the Texans favored.
Texans are favored. They're giving up 2.5.
Cooper Rush was not a bad backup quarterback in Dallas. He went in there and put up good numbers. That's not the issue, though, with the Ravens.
Yeah, their defense is terrible.
Yes.
Their defense is bad.
Which just, I mean, shocking to see a really bad defense in Baltimore.
It's happened twice in this century.
Yeah.
Like maybe 2 legitimate seasons where it's been bad in this century.
There's nothing really about the Texans that I kind of look at and I'm like, oh, yeah, that Texans team,
they've completely fallen on their face. There's no juice. And with a team that has CJ Stroud, you'd think, they had statistically one of the best wide receivers in the league last year, Nico Collins, and just a flat team.
Yeah, that's it is. It really is crazy to see that. Yeah.
A team that has certainly got some juice this year because Bo Nix playing well. The Denver Broncos look like a legitimate team on the up and up. Obviously, they're not one of the tops in the AFC, but they face off against the Eagles, and I'm not expecting them to win. I'm surely expecting the Eagles to win this, to beat up on the Broncos. But the Broncos are a team now where I'm watching them when they play good teams because I'm wondering, using that litmus test, where does Sean Payton have them? Is this a 9-7 team by dint of maybe playing some of the bad teams in the AFC North and the AFC East? Sorry.
So you're going 10 and 7, 9 and 8.
9 and 8. Sorry.
Okay.
Is this a 9 and 8 team or 10 and 7 team that wins 4 or 5 games against the bad rosters, and that's why they're a winning team? Or is this legitimately a team that next year we're talking about the Broncos adding one more draft class, adding one more free agent class, and being a team in hell? The AFC West, if it keeps trending this way, is going to be an absolutely hellacious division next year because the Broncos are getting better. The Chargers have their ups and downs, but they're getting better. The Chiefs are the Chiefs, and we finally saw Ashton Genty, what can happen to him when the Raiders offensive line blocking last week actually gives him more than 2 yards to get ahead of steam going. He can scamper 70.
I'm going to go opposite with this. I kind of put the Eagles on upset alert.
Okay, I like this.
No, I like the Broncos prior to the season. The Broncos were the sexy pick to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they were.
You knew that AFC West was going to be tough.
They were, but the issue is the last 5 weeks of the season, the numbers were all kind of fluffy. It was against bad defenses. No one cared. And so the fact that they're doing it now and Bo Nix is actually marching this team up and down the field, you got to buy into the offense that Peyton's put together.
The Eagles have started the year Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Bucks.
And
every single one of those games has been within a touchdown.
What's the point differential across their 4-0 season? Plus
4
7
plus
or 8?
3, 4 plus 3 plus 7 plus 6.
So a plus 20 across 4 games. That's a small goal. That's a small point differential.
So you get a Broncos team coming in to wrap up next week. The Eagles have the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see today, week 2 of Jackson Dart under center for the Giants. We'll kind of get a better feel of what kind of team this is and when the Eagles are catching them in this experiment.
Yeah, I think they caught the Chargers napping.
But that's a tough stretch. That is 4 good teams that they're starting off against. And this very easily could be a trap game for the Eagles because you look too, like when their last home game was against the Rams, they got booed off the field at the end of the first half. And it took multiple blocked kicks to put them back in that game. Mm-hmm. So to kind of look at this and see just, the schedule they've had and the games they've put out, I really think that the Broncos could upset them.
I like that call. I like that call a lot. We were just talking a little bit about the Raiders and the Colts. You mentioned Daniel Jones, early season kind of darlings with what Daniel Jones is doing. And I know, Smith last week, tough day against the Bears, throws 3 picks, but I'm honing in on what I just mentioned earlier. Ashton Genty's actually getting yards and actually getting time. That game I think will be interesting, the Raiders-Colts game, but to potentially look back on 4 or 5 weeks in the future if the Raiders maybe win 3 or 4 and the Colts maybe struggle a little bit. But that's one of those games that in the moment it's not that interesting, but that could be one of those games we lock into after the fact.
I'm kind of in on the Colts right now. They seem to have it figured out with Daniel Jones as the quarterback. I think they easily moved to 4-1 in this game. And you look at the rest of the division that they're in right now with the Jaguars, the Titans, and the Texans. And I know the Jaguars have started off pretty well too. Jaguars are 3-1 to start the season.
It's not real.
I know that's what I'm saying.
That's
exactly what I'm saying. Is that's not real. And the Colts are just going to coast to a division championship.
Yes.
And I have the 6.5 bothers me, but man, I don't know. I think that's one that I'd be okay with taking.
We're not going to hit everything, but we will end up talking about every game in the noon slate here because I have to mention. Did you see the news out of Carolina? I don't know them, but we will call them our podcasting brethren. Did you see what happened in Carolina?
Not.
A very popular podcast came out and said for the Panthers, guys, we can no longer commit to weekly episodes because we have families and we can no longer prioritize this product over spending time with our families. Front Office Sports hit a tweet about it. Like, it's getting news. The Athletic posted about it. It's getting news because one of the most popular fan Panther podcasts is quitting, essentially taking a sabbatical because the team is so bad.
I wish I would have done that back in the day on 1380 or 920 when it came to covering the Rams.
Right. I was like, you can do that?
Just listen here, man. Listen, hey, Demoff. I'm just artist. Like, I can't cover your team anymore. It's just taken years off my life.
So this is a fan-driven podcast, by the way, with a great name, Meow Mix, a Carolina Panthers podcast, announcing this week. This is the opening statement here, which I love from them. It was, or I'll close down the last part of it, I should say. We would be watching the games regardless, but locking ourselves away for 6 to 7 hours on a Sunday just to watch and then discuss a 42-13 ass whipping has become more of a chore than anything else. We don't feel it's right to keep the podcast going unless we can continue to put out weekly episodes. And right now, neither of us wants to spend that amount of time talking about this organization. Thank you all. And until next time, keep pounding.
To go out there and be like, oh, we need to spend time with the family. That's, that you're going to keep watching football.
You're grandstanding a little bit.
You're going to keep watching football.
I just couldn't.
Yeah,
I had to mention that story.
The team sucks. You don't want to cover it anymore. You're going to get more popularity this way. It's well done. It's a great PR move.
We certainly aren't going to hit every game on the slate because I have no reasons to make any of you hear me talk about why the Titans and the Cardinals game is a game you should watch. You shouldn't. Save your time. The one game in the 3:00 slate I am locked in on because I think it potentially has some fallout to the rankings on where you put the top NFC teams because the Buccaneers went down to the Eagles last week. But still, they kept it close. They were fighting with the whole time. But the Sam Darnold-led Seahawks have cruised also to a 3-1 record. So it's a battle of 3-1 records. The Buccaneers are in Seattle. I think potentially this really could codify that next tier of NFC teams because obviously at the very top, you have the Lions and you have the Eagles, and then you have the next tier of NFC teams. And I think there's a couple of teams kind of fighting for that position and the ranking. And I think this could be the next team up in the NFC, whoever wins in Seattle on Sunday at 3.
I just think the Buccaneers are a really good team, are the better team in this situation.
I agree.
For this, I am looking forward in that game to seeing the aerial shots of the parking lot of the stadium district there in Seattle, where this game is starting at 3:00.
Mm-hmm.
The Mariners game is starting at 7:00.
Oh,
they share a parking lot.
Think about that.
Yes,
that's going to be fascinating.
In the middle of them.
Oh,
and have you ever been out there to that area? That stadium area?
Are the dimensions similar to Arrowhead and Kauffman, or Arrowhead and Kauffman got a lot more space?
There's the parking lot. It's more of it's the district that it's in.
Mm-hmm.
It's you go it's like deep down under, like it's like the area of in Seattle where it is. There's only really like kind of one way in, one way out type. It is going to be just an absolute nightmare of cars going in and out at that time. Like around the game, when the game ends an hour before the Mariners game type thing, it's just going to be a disaster of traffic.
Mariners game's at what time?
7. This game's at 3.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And NFL games are.
So this game's
locked
going to
in
go
at 3+
until
hours.
3, and it's going to go till about 6:30. Right.
Oh, that's going to be rough for everybody involved.
It is a tough little area to navigate around. And yeah.
So if you're a Seattle fan, does that cut back your drinking, or are you?
You just go in there and you just make a day of. You're just like, hey, I'm here.
I'm locked into that spot.
I'm here.
And then obviously the Lions Bengals game. I mean, it would be a lot more fun if it was a Lions Bengals game, but it's not. It's the Lions versus the ghost of the Bengals.
Right. That's it's one of those where it's you're going to watch it to see if they, I
guess the big thing then is the last 3 games on the slate is really how much do the Lions win by, how much do the Bills win by over the Patriots, and then how much do the Chiefs kind of prove the Jaguars are frauds and that they're still a real powerhouse, and do they slap them around on Monday tomorrow?
There, I'm showing you the layout.
That is going to be hell. Oh no!
And look, there's the road,
and you're gonna be
there's the road that goes in and out of the area.
You're gonna be sitting ducks too, and all that traffic. Make sure you have your Narcan spray ready.
Yeah, and all of this is all just uphill.
And potentially they're losing to the Buccaneers coming out of that game.
Exactly.
That's insane. Do you keep moving your laptop without your hands? What's happening right now? No, you keep shifting your laptop around, and I don't see how you keep doing it.
Oh yeah,
it's like you're a flipping magician, man. You're freaking me out over here. Chiefs Jaguars. I know that's on Monday night, but I want to get your thoughts because you're just talking about the Jaguars again. They are 3-1 with wins over the 49ers, the Texans, and the Panthers. So the win over the 49ers was pretty solid. Trevor Lawrence, a lot of questions the first couple weeks. Obviously, the Chiefs are 2-2, are sitting with a lot of questions. Do you see a potential slip up in Jacksonville by the Chiefs?
This is where I think, the Chiefs had that rough start to the year, and now they're just going to start piling up wins to get themselves back into the playoffs. That's all they're trying to do right now. Once they're in, they're a dangerous team.
Chiefs are favored by 3.5 in Jacksonville on Monday night, but we got an entire Sunday slate ahead of us. This has been our Week 5 preview right here on the Randy Carricker Show featuring Brooke Grimsley with Joe Roderick and Matthew Rocchio. Enjoy your Sunday, St. Louis.